Hi there, it's Laura Wamwell from Laura Wamwell Photography, and I am joined today by Natalie Thomas, who is the Manager of Marketing and Communications with the Guelph Humane Society. Hi, Natalie, I'm so excited to have you here.
Thanks for inviting us along. We're really excited to be here. By we, I mean the Guelph Humane Society, of course.
So you've been with the Guelph Humane Society since 2020, but you've been involved in the animal care industry long before that. So tell me a
Mhm.
little bit about how you started.
Yeah, so I was working at the Weather Network actually to start. So I was in broadcasting, television, and doing all the weather and the storms and everything. But I had a young daughter, and I was commuting from Guelph to Oakville, and the show started at 5 a.m. So you had to be there for 3 a.m. It was just too much as a young mom. So I was looking for something local, and this amazing opportunity came up at the Ontario Association of Veterinary Technicians. They're the regulatory body and as well as the professional association, so they're dual mandated for registered veterinary technicians in Ontario. And I started there at the end of 2014 and just really immersed myself in the world of veterinary medicine, the regulation and the laws in Ontario about veterinary medicine and just the profession overall. And and have been in veterinary medicine ever since. So I love working with animals, but also the people who work with animals because they're special people, the veterinarians and the RVTs and all the shelter workers. They're just extraordinary people who give so much to the animals in their care.
Amazing.
Mhm.
So within your role at the
Yeah.
Guelph Humane Society, can you tell me a little bit about what your day-to-day looks like?
Yes, it's very busy right now. We have a lot going on. The main parts of the job, I would say, are social media feed. So making sure there's always engaging content, writing press releases, and working on videos, and working really closely with our donor relations team to market different things. The Guelph Humane Society, a lot of people don't know this, but they get $0 from government funding. So it's all donation based. So it's thank you to the people and the sponsorships and the partners in town because we wouldn't exist or be able to do the work we do if we didn't have the generosity of our community. So it's really important to work with our donor relation team so that we have engaging contests or sponsorship opportunities or ways for people to get involved and give back because we really rely heavily on that funding. So that's a huge part of it is marketing, ways for people to contribute.
Perfect. So if we're tagging the Guelph Humane Society in, pictures of our
Yeah.
adorable adopted animals, are you the one that we're talking to?
Always, it's always me. Yes, it's me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. We're getting bigger on LinkedIn and YouTube, so we're all over the place.
Excellent. And I'm sure you encourage people engaging with you folks as much as possible.
We love it. Tag us, and we will share your photos, and we will do whatever we can.
So working for the Humane Society must be
Mhm.
incredibly rewarding. What are some of your favorite parts of your job?
I remember when I first started, our executive director, Adrian, she said, it's really good when you're trying to write or you're having a bad day and you just walk down the hall and you go into the kitten adoption room and you just grab a cat or a kitten and she was so right, but until you're in it, you don't really realize. So, and you get, at the beginning, you're not as comfortable to just go down the room and pick out a cat. But now I'm just, every day I'm in, I pick up the cat and I'm just like, who do we have today? Because every day there's new animals. I don't want to do my Facebook post right now. I want to go and I want to pick up a cat and just get inspired. And maybe that leads to a cute picture or a post or whatever. That for sure is the most rewarding part to see the animals coming in every day and then to follow their story, especially in my role when we're telling a story to the public. This dog came in and he was matted and mangy and acting out because he was in pain, and then we helped make him feel better and now he's a great dog, and then he gets to go to a new family and then we get pictures from the family after. So it's seeing the story. I know it's like emotional, like tears to the eyes, but just seeing the growth of these animals and then finding their happy tails, as we say. It's so that part of it is really rewarding.
Are there any particularly challenging parts of the of the dog rescue end of it, or
Um, yes, there are challenging, we always want to make sure people know we don't say forever homes because we don't want people to feel the pressure that, that's it. We always want people to know that the animal can come back to us because that's safe and we know that we'll be able to find the next family for them as well. So we never want to put that pressure on families, but it can be tough when you see, sometimes animals returned and you know how sweet they are, but they just weren't the right fit for that family. So even though the family did the right thing and we allow the animal to come back, you feel so bad because you're like, oh, that cat. No, I saw that happen with a cat. I'm like, I love that cat so much. And I thought, oh, that was his happy tail. And then he came back. So that it can be hard emotionally to the ups and downs of seeing, animals coming and going.
Are there any stories right now that you've been sharing with the public that are particularly interesting to you or heartwarming or that we really need to know about?
Yeah, well, there are a few animals. The ones that stay in the shelter for a really long time, and then they finally find their happy tail are probably the most rewarding. Ginny was the cat that Ginny had been on the site on our available animals adoption page since I had started in the fall. So she had been up, and because she was a diabetic cat, it takes a really special owner, a special family to adopt her to know that it will require daily insulin injections twice a day. And so even our adoption team, they work really hard to make sure it is the right fit because they don't want the animal coming back. So they make sure, are you aware of the responsibility with this cat? So it takes a little bit longer. She finally went home and the owner, the new family loves her so much. And they've been sending pictures and tagging us on Instagram. And, luckily for Ginny, the cat, Ginny was adopted by a physician. So she's used to giving injections, So finally, it always just takes finding that exact right fit. And that was a super nice story to see. And I was there the day she went to go home and I got pictures of it and I got to share that on social media. So that was really special.
Oh, amazing.
Mhm.
So this is, I mean, if you live in Guelph, this is an
Yeah.
exciting time for the Guelph Humane Society. There is so much going on. How is the
Yes.
construction coming along?
Yeah, well, so we're not 100% complete construction, but enough so that we've been able to move in. We officially got the keys and we moved in, and it's just such a different experience because of COVID. We're still, in and out doing things from home, but of course, the landscaping can't be done until the spring when everything warms up a bit, and the dog runs, the cement, all of the concrete and everything can't be done until the spring. But it's definitely was move-in ready, and it's amazing. We're talking about a huge improvement in terms of space and brightness and just how many animals we're able to help.
So what are some of the new features that,
Mhm.
I mean, obviously the old building was lacking a
Was
few
old.
features.
It was old. So what are we most excited about for features? So for the dogs, what I'm most excited about are the indoor outdoor runs. So if you think about doggy doors if you have a dog at home and the doggy doors where they can come and go in the nice weather as they please. In a typical shelter setting, they're in their crate and they're there until the attendant comes to let them out and take them for a walk. But every run has its own door. So you can, turn it to give them the access if they're able to, and they can come and go as they please outside. And there are 30 of them. Like we can help 30 dogs at once. So um, it increases our capacity by 125% for dogs alone, and they have these runs and they can come and go. And that's just so wonderful that they have that ability to just enjoy life even more while they're in our care. And similarly for cats, we have a catio, an outdoor catio. So when the weather's nice, and cats, of course, love sun and sitting in the sun and the sights and sounds and smells outside. So it's enclosed, of course, they can't escape, but they can go outside and enjoy their afternoons too. So that's amazing. And a lot of people don't know we have like a farm animal program. We'll take in farm animals. And if you've been to the old building at 500 Wellington Street, it was makeshift areas for them because the space just wasn't there. And now the farm animals have their own dedicated area. So we can help farm animals even better. And wildlife has their own area. And small animals, which used to be in our front hallway in just cages, now have their own area as well. So everyone has their own area. It's less stress on the animals when they're not all together and there's crowds of people around. So it's just an overall improvement for the staff, for visitors, and in particular, the animals.
Wow. So as a potential adopter coming into the
Yeah.
new building, is that experience for them going to be different?
Yes. So, COVID really makes this very difficult because we don't know how many people we can have in at a time, when that will change. So, I don't want to get people's hopes up. Just I'm crossed that by the summer, more people can come inside the building, but the experience will be different. So, when you walk into the hallway, the front entrance hall, our cat adoption area is right there, and there are these long windows, so the cats can be they're looking out at you, so you can walk by the windows, and you can see all the different cats, and if they're bonded, they can be in the room together. Um, long and tall, and they can jump up and use all that space. And we actually have adoption rooms. So if you want to take, if you and your family come in, I want to spend time with the cat first, or the dog first, or the bunny first, you can go into this room, you and your family and the animal, this big space, and just spend time with them alone. It's just going to be such a different experience.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
We're very
I,
excited.
I know with COVID, everything's a little bit up in the air, but
Yeah.
when do you expect to be having the public into the new building?
So for sure, not in the month of March. We're kind of giving ourselves that time, especially because the fundraising isn't done for the building, and really the building still there's still some construction going on the inside as well. So when it's safe to do so, and when public health allows us to, um, our hope is spring. We can't really give a date because we don't know what they talk about. Is there a third wave? Will April see cases spike? So it's hard to predict, but fingers crossed that by the spring, later this spring, April, May. I hate pushing it back further and further, but as soon as we're able to, we'll be allowing people in.
So as a pet owner myself, I know
Yes.
I've interacted with the Humane Society, and I think a lot of pet owners over the course of having your pet
Mhm.
interact with the Humane Society in one way or another. What's something that you wish that the general pet parent public knew about this particular area of pet care?
In terms of the shelter animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, I think that I want everyone to know how grateful we are. So we go to work every day and we love the work we do, but we just couldn't do it without even the volunteers who just come to walk the dogs or come by to pet the cats. It just takes a little bit of pressure off staff, because we, and specifically the animal care team, love the animals so much and they want to give them all their attention, but there's so many things that need to be done. So like volunteers, if you can only give your time, we appreciate it. People have been, because we haven't been able to accept physical donation items, because of COVID during the lockdown, people have been mailing packages from Amazon, like surprise packages, or if we need something, we put it out on Facebook and they send them. And it's just, I want pet owners and people who support the Humane Society, the Guelph Humane Society, to know that it's so appreciated. And we literally could not do the work we do without.
Are there any particular campaigns or Amazon wish lists or
Yeah.
something that folks can get involved with at a distance right now?
So we have some exciting things coming up. So number one, I will say, is our first ever 50-50 draw. And some people may not have heard about it yet because it hasn't started yet, but March 15th to April 15th. We have never done a 50-50 draw before. And it's going to be online, obviously. And the money from this one is going to go towards the new building because we are about $2 million short. So that funding will absolutely help to cover some of those costs. But people can buy tickets and they can go to the website. It's ghslotto.ca. And once it starts, of course, on the 15th of March, and you can buy your tickets and you might, make money out of it. And Adrienne, our executive director, she said it best. She said, people always say, if I won the lottery, I'd help the animals. And now's your chance. You might be able to win the lottery and help the animals by doing it. So we're really excited about that. And you might hear some of the ads in town. We have, ads on the radio and in the paper and on Guelph Today. So we've got some stuff coming up to promote the 50-50. But also what I'm excited about, because I'm running this one, it's we're doing this online market. So all of the vendors, and we have over 20 vendors already signed up. It's going to be happening April 20th to April 30th. On our Facebook page, we're going to set up an event, and all of the vendors are going to be selling their items. They're all animal themed. We have really cute things. You know what you will love? They're like these night lights with the photos of your animals on it. Oh my gosh, so cool. And some of our vendors have, scrunchies with animal themes and wine glasses with dog themes on the outside, and bird houses and stained glass. So just really talented local artists. And for every sale made, everyone is going to be sending some of the proceeds back to the Humane Society. So if you're saving up and looking for Mother's Day presents, wait for our market. You can get some one-of-a-kind items and help the animals as well.
Perfect. That sounds fantastic. I hope everybody checks it out as soon as it's
Me too.
live. So we've talked a whole bunch about what's exciting at the Humane Society. I'd love for folks to get to know you a little bit better. So let's talk about your pets.
Sure.
What fur people live with you right now?
I wonder if I can get her. Her name is Noodle. She's 6 years old. She's a cockapoo. A funny story about this is we originally went to adopt, I don't know if you remember, about 6 years ago, but the Humane Society had 9 puppies and they named them all like Christmas, like after the reindeer. They were all the reindeer names. And we tried to get a puppy, but so many people put in applications and we didn't get one. So instead we got Noodle, and she was meant to be. Noodle, are you up here? I'll see if I can grab her, but she's really cute. She's just, a white cockapoo, named by, at the time, my 2-year-old daughter. And we like to call her Noodle the cockapoodle. So she's pretty cute. She's a good girl. And I'll say, as a growing up, you have pets growing up, and it's just different now. I don't know if you'll experience the same thing, but growing up, my parents didn't do a lot for the dog. They would never have considered it a dental, for the dog. And now it's like, well, you should be doing dental. So you feel like this pressure, especially working in the industry now. And so she's pretty well taken care of. She gets her regular dentals and make sure she's not overweight, and she has her vet diet. So the more you know, the more you want to be able to provide your pets when you know better.
Exactly. And what are some of your favorite things to do with your family and with Noodle here in Southwestern Ontario?
We love the leash-free dog. So and I also have my little daughter here sneaking in here. Do you want to get Noodle for a moment? See if you can get Noodle. That's Sloan. If you're from the Guelph area, the Guelph area just off the Hanlon, that leash. Don't carry her, no. The leash-free dog part, they love to see her running around. So they like to take turns holding the leash when we're just walking around. If you have kids, especially 2 girls, they fight because one wants what the other one has. So if one's walking Noodle, the other one wants to walk Noodle. So we have to say, okay, you're walking to the end of this street and you can hold the leash to the end of the street. But at the leash-free, no one's fighting. Noodle's just running and no one's holding a leash. So that's our favorite, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, we are spoiled for pet-friendly options here in this community. I think there are so many wonderful dog parks, so many wonderful trails, where you can be on leash with your pets. Like we're spoiled for options here. Oh, she's so cute.
There's Noodle. She's a good girl.
Perfect. So I have some fun, quick, off the top of your head questions for you, if you're up for it.
Okay.
All right. So, cat or dog?
I'll say dog because I have one, but it's a tough one.
Favorite breed?
I like a good Labrador. Sorry, Noodle.
Well, speaking of Noodle, what is Noodle's favorite treat?
Noodle loves Dentastix. One a day. Oh my gosh, she goes wild for them every morning.
So is Noodle full of dreams, full of beans, or full of something entirely different?
I would say dreams for sure. Full of dreams.
Excellent. Now, which human actor would play Noodle in a movie?
Oh my gosh, this is a very tough question. Let's see. Give me a human actor, so female in a movie. She's very sweet. I would like Reese Witherspoon.
Nice. Super friendly, super down to earth.
Yes. Yeah. A little Southern, but I don't know why.
All right. If money were no object, what is one thing that you would do to absolutely spoil your pet? I
have this dream of taking her. We want to rent a cottage in the summer, and I want her to come. She's never been to a cottage. So I don't have to be a millionaire for that, I guess. My dream to spoil her is to bring her to a cottage and let her run around.
That's wonderful. And achievable too.
Totally. It might happen. It's her bucket list.
So before we wrap up, are there any key ways that this community can help to support the Guelph Humane Society in the upcoming little bits before it opens to the public?
Yes, if I know one of the hardest parts about working at a not-for-profit is asking for money, but I know that people love the animals and they do want to help. And so it is extremely important if the community could come together and help us finish off our capital campaign to pay for the building. So I know $2 million sounds like a lot, but every little bit helps. $5 here and $10 here. And eventually as a community, hopefully we can chip away at that and the building will be completely paid for and we can put all of the money then that comes in going forward towards the animals and new programs and helping more animals.
Wonderful. And if folks don't have the money to share, are
Yes.
there ways that they can, help by promoting those campaigns?
Absolutely. When you see stuff on our Facebook page, if you're following us, or Instagram, if you just share, because the more you share, the more people see it. And it doesn't have to be people from Southwestern Ontario who contribute. It can be, maybe you have relatives in Florida who want to contribute. So the further our asks go, the better. More people to help us chip away at the capital campaign. And also, eventually we haven't had volunteers come into the building for a year now. It's been a year of COVID that we've had to close to the public. So if you don't have the money, but you have the time, honestly, volunteering is great as well. Fostering, we've had to really rely on our foster parents this year, and foster families, because we have tried to keep as few animals on site as possible, just because it's such a small space at the old building. But become a foster, or help us walk dogs. If you don't have to contribute just with money, if money isn't there to do that for.
Excellent. And if you could say, representing the Humane Society, if you could say one thing to this community, what would it be?
I would say thank you for getting us this far. We've had some amazing supporters. There are amazing people in this community who've given so much. Like I said, these Amazon packages, and sometimes they don't even leave a name. They just want to send things and not be recognized for it. People, doing bottle drives, and little kids. Oh my goodness, at Christmas, we had 3 kids in a row the week leading up to Christmas who had raised money, or they had gifts of money, and they just, sorry. Sorry, COVID. Yeah. What do you want?
No, I want
A pen. Okay. All right, guys. But yeah, see, kids are cute, except when they're on your Zoom calls. But these kids who came in, oh my goodness, this one little girl had sold muffins, and she gave us over $150 of her muffin sales. And I just thought, thank you to the community for raising amazing children who want to give back to the animals. So Guelph is a unique community, specifically. The veterinary college is here. There's a lot of animal lovers. Like you mentioned, we're really spoiled with great parks and leash-free options. So it's a great community, and they're always giving back. So thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Natalie, for giving us your time and giving us a few, secret sneak peeks into the new building
Yes.
before we
Yeah.
I absolutely appreciate chatting with you today. It's been such a pleasure.
Laura, it was great talking to you. Thank you so much. And we hope that you'll be out soon to see the new building. Yeah.
I hope so too. Well, thank you so much for listening. This is Laura with Laura Wamwell Photography, and I am here with Natalie Thomas, Manager of Marketing and Communications from the Guelph Humane Society. And we both hope that you and your pets have an awesome day. Bye.
Bye.